Okay, so today we are going to work on these cute little things. We are going to try to finish them. If you didn't see the previous video, I will write the link to this part 1 video in my description box, and you will be able to see the beginning. You have a beautiful view on my installation on my table right now, and in the background it's my laundry room. That's fascinating. I'm sorry, you're not going to see me today on this video. I wanted to shoot this video last week, and we had the Hillary hurricane, which was actually not really a hurricane. It was like more really very strong rains the whole day. I had a tree completely damaged. Well, but we are still alive, and we had no flooding in the house, which is fantastic. And yesterday I wanted to film, and I had kind of a stomach bug. I was not in a good shape, so I thought, okay, I'm going to film it the simplest way tomorrow, so today, Sunday, and never mind if it's not my usual self, but otherwise this video is never going to be filmed, so I do it today. I'm not in a super good shape, but good enough to do a video. I also apologize for the camera I'm going to use to show you what I'm doing. It's a very old camera, but it's the only one which doesn't give me some corrupted shots. So I want to be sure that what I'm filming is going to be recorded and usable. So that's why I'm using my very old camera. It's really time that I buy a new one. Anyway, so I'm going to continue on these spots. I'm going to do tags, and I'm going to show you something which makes me laugh. I hope you will like it. So here is on what I am working today. I hope that you don't hear, I have two fans working. It's so hot today, so it's very difficult not to use the fans. If the noise is too terrible, I will have to find another solution. Anyway, actually yesterday I did some little things on, yes, I just added the flower on the top, so it comes from a flower magazine, or even in a magazine, home decor, things like that. Sometimes you have images of flowers, but I use a lot of images coming from flowers catalogs. So that's a good way to find flowers. So I glued that. I kept the lettering around because actually I like it. I could have covered with some black, but I don't want. I am considering maybe gluing some ribbons around. Maybe. I'm going to see. So what I did on this one, yes, underneath it has been glued to the paper. And on this one I added this flower, which is actually not from a catalog. It's to wrap a gift. I cut the flower and I added also these flowers, because I didn't like so much what was underneath. The junction between the two kind of papers wasn't nice, so I added that, and maybe I will add a little more glue here because you see it's not perfectly glued. And I'm going to glue some stuff that I kept inside so it's not lost. As I said in the previous video, the glue that I'm using, it's a mix of Elmer. I put some water in it and also some Mod Podge, a mix of the three. You have to mix them before using them because they have a tendency to separate, but once you mix them, that's fine. I always have a brush like that. You can find that at Home Depot for almost nothing. This is a very old brush that I had from the place where I used to work. It's written Rougier place where I used to work in Paris a very long time ago. I still have the brush and a pot with water, because if you don't put your brush in the water, it's going to dry and to damage your brush. Usually the brushes, older they are, better they are. So it's better to keep them as much as possible. So these flowers come from the flower catalog also. I decided that I would put the big red flower here. I hope that you see. I'm sorry, I don't see what you see, so it's a little complicated for me. I have to put the camera high enough so you can see what I'm doing, unless I'm working by standing instead of sitting. I hope that you see what I'm doing. Okay. Usually this paper is not ideal to glue because it's really thin and not automatically good quality. So that's why I'm doing my best to remove any air bubble. But if there is an air bubble, what you do, you take a pin, you make a little hole with your pin in the air bubble, and then you put some glue, and the glue is going to go inside and glue everything. So it's not a drama if you have some air bubble, but it's better to avoid them as much as possible. And here I'm going to put this little thing here and another one. Okay, let's see. I have sticky fingers now. Usually it's better to rinse the fingers between each motif, but I want to squeeze that underneath. Yeah, something like that. That is small, it's easy to glue. You are not going to have a lot of air bubble on something so small. Bigger the paper is, more risks there are to have air bubble. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to see if tacky glue is okay to glue a ribbon here. Tacky glue is the first glue I think of. I have some glue for fabric glue also. But tacky glue, as it glues fast, that's my first idea. I recommend tacky glue. Tacky glue. So I want the front to be here, so I will put the nice part rather here. Okay, and you see I made it a little longer so they can, one goes on the other one. It's nicer rather than having a cut. it becomes transparent by drying, but we don't need some excess. It's better to close it quickly. So you see tacky glue, yes. Okay, and I'm going to let it dry. So it looks more finished like that. You see? So the ribbon, it's this one. I've had it since very long time, and I can't remember where I bought it. So it was probably on eBay, because I see that there is something written like that. Probably I found it on eBay. Sometimes I used to buy my ribbons at Michael's, but I think because I see that, I think that I bought it on eBay. So this one, I don't think that I'm going to put a ribbon, because I like what I see on the side. You see there are things written. I want to keep that, so I will keep it like that. But the other one, this one, just I forgot to tell you, you see I put a hot pink flower here, even though the image here is rather in the orange, and obviously the ribbon is in the copper orange also. I like this color, this kind of pale orange. I love associating actually, well, I love putting it beside hot pink or dark red. I think that it gives how to explain that? It's like if the pale orange was slightly faded from the dark red or from the hot pink, and it gives kind of a nuance that I love. Of course, most of people are going to say, oh no, you should have put an orange flower, but for me it's too much matchy. I don't like doing that. So I'm very glad that I did that. Maybe the only thing is that maybe once it's dry, maybe I will put some black all around to hide the side of the ribbon. I don't want to hide the lettering. I just want to hide the beige kind of color all around the ribbon to make it more finished. Maybe, I'm not even sure about that. Okay, so here, yes, I think that I want to put a ribbon, because you see it's not very nicely finished. I could have added some paper and finish it better, but I thought that maybe a ribbon would be enough. If here I don't like it, I can always add some paper. But let's see, I have these ribbons, yes, because that would be, no, that I have this black one also, but it's too much for this spot, I think. I'm wondering about the polka dots or the purple, or no, the yellow is not fine because it's not the same. It's not terrible, but it's not the same. What about this one? This one could be interesting. Let's see. So you see here, the colors are okay. The style is okay, because there is kind of a naive style on the ribbon that we can find with these flowers, so it's not shocking, but it's too much. There is too much motifs here, too much motifs here, so I must find something more discreet than that. So I'm looking at that. You know, I'm in one of these days where I like nothing about what I'm doing. I find everything bad. No, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. And what do you want? I don't know. I don't hate it, but I'm not sure. There is a big contrast between the orange and the blue. That's why I like it, because it's complementary colors. But I don't know. I said that I didn't want this one. Now I'm wondering. I am wondering if it's not the one. Yes. 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 Of course, it's much better. It's much better because it's more discreet. So must I put it like this? Actually, I like the little naive flowers with the very mysterious ribbon. Like this or like this? No, I prefer it like this, which means with the gold at the bottom. Okay, let's do this. This morning, before going out of my bed, I was dreaming that I was singing Girl by the Beatles, and the whole day I had this song in my head. I don't know why, because I didn't hear it yesterday, so I don't know why. And in my dream I was vacuuming the floor by singing the song. I don't see the link between a vacuum cleaner and this song, but in my mind there is probably something. So I will let it dry, and maybe I will add a tiny piece of paper here and here to complete the look. Some orange paper like that, I still have some. It's not terrible, it doesn't shock me. Or another solution, I could put some wax gold all around, so it's going to be mixed with that, and it will be more coherent, I would say. Okay, I must let it dry. So I have put some black on the ribbon here to hide the edge of the ribbon. You know, the color was not extraordinary. And so if you ask me what is this pen, so it's a waterproof, water resistant, I don't know, pen, but I don't know if you are going to find that because it belonged to my mother. I have this pen since at least 20 years. That's incredible. And the pen is, I don't know if you managed to read, it's Pentel Sign Pen, made in Japan. I don't know if they look like that. The brand still exists, but I don't know if we can find them. This pen is incredible. I have some Stabilo markers that I've had when I was a child, and some of them are still working. Nowadays it doesn't work as long. And I also put some black here, so I use this art and graphic twin. It's made in Japan also, and there is like a brush at the end. The problem is that is not water resistant, so I will have to varnish the black by being very careful not to touch the flower. Obviously I like to make the things complicated. If you do that, take something which is water resistant, or even some black acrylic paint. It's not going to move, but I like the black of this thing. want to use all my old products to get rid of them and buy new ones because I'm tired. I am tired to see always the same products that I don't use. It was made by Polyvine in the 90s, and it's a matte varnish. I don't have a lot remaining, but I'm desperately trying to finish it. So I'm going to varnish the black to avoid a catastrophe. You don't have to do that. It's because I chose not the right pen, marker. I'm covering my letters, but never mind. We can still see them. Yes, once it's dry, it will become more transparent. This varnish is acrylic. That's why it has a whitish, bluish color when I apply it, but it becomes transparent once dry. Okay, I'm completely covering my letters here. We will see. How to make the things more complicated than they are. I wanted absolutely to use that pen. Okay, so it's going to dry. At least the acrylic varnish will avoid to... Maybe I could varnish my flower, so I will be done with that. Yes, I will do that. It's not the ideal brush for a varnish, but I need to take a really small brush to be more precise. It's a little tricky, but once dry it will disappear. Okay, so once we are here, we can be done. For example, for this one, I don't think that I will go much further except for adding a tag. In this situation, I would sign it at the end. I will varnish it, so I'm going to varnish that. This one, I was wondering if I was not going to add some little details with these glitter things. So I have them here. Some of them are old. I don't know at what point it's going to work because some of them are old and it's so hot in my house these days. So I will have to try. Not a long time ago I tried to see which one were still good and which one were not. These ones are more recent. Glitter, maybe I will use, is there some yellow? Yes, I have some yellow here. It's some fabric paint, it's for the fabric. But you can use them on whatever you want actually. Do I still have the old ones? Yes, these ones are old. Yes, these ones. Firm liner glitter, this one is old. But all the tulip ones are recent. I will try the blue one and the yellow one. Let's see. It gives a little of dimension. So you can use that on fabric, but also on wood, on glass. Yes, they explain how to let it dry and then how to wash the fabric. But in our situation, we don't care. It's not some fabric. Oh, yes, they are still good. Obviously, I am keeping them safe in their box. Yes, I want to give a little more dimension to the thing, like that. I'm not sure about that. So no, so if you don't like it, you can or remove it completely or spread it so you end up with some glitter. You see, I don't like anything I'm doing today. It's the day where I hate everything. I like the glitter, the blue glitter. I must use them more often. I don't know why I'm not using them. I used them so much when I was in Paris. Maybe I overdosed on them. I don't know, maybe. So maybe I can put a little here also. So usually when I use them not on fabric but on a surface like that, I varnish them because otherwise they stay a little tacky and everything is going to stick to them even once they are dry. So I like to put some varnish on them to avoid that. You see, we never know in advance what we are going to do. I think that we have an idea, we start, but then the object has its own life and tells us what to do. I'm afraid that this one is going to run down because I put too much. So maybe I'm going to spread it a little more, like this. Yes, you must be careful that it doesn't go down like that. Okay, it must dry, so I cannot varnish it right now because it has to dry. So now I don't like my matte varnish. Something else that I don't like. So I found this old, it's old but it comes from here, it doesn't come from France. It's water-based varnish satin finish. I think satin maybe will be better because I think it's dull. The matte is really dull. I didn't want shiny because it becomes sticky and it's too much, but maybe satin will be fine. Let's mix it well and let's put some in a small pot. It's getting old. You see that? Not good. That is not good. You must remove that and put in the trash. Okay, let's see if it's going to be better. It's the day where everything goes wrong. When I like absolutely nothing. At least the black is not smudging. That's a good news. Maybe I'm going to varnish the rest since I'm here. I sign at the bottom, at the very end, with a waterproof or water resistant pen. Choose the ones that you like the most. I will stop here and I will continue after. This one I'm going to varnish it. Too soft brushes. You must use brushes which can be used with acrylic products. Don't use brushes which are meant to be used for watercolors, for, I don't know, even for oil the brushes are different. Usually for oil the brushes are longer. Don't use brushes for ink, for calligraphy, for even, you know, the little brushes that the children have at school. That's not fine for acrylic. You must use some brushes which are meant to be used for acrylic products. So it can be that. It's what we call bristle, if you find bristles. Also you can find some synthetic brushes which are made for acrylics, because acrylic damages the brushes. So it would be a pity to use a beautiful brush for watercolor, which usually is rather expensive, to use for acrylic. It's not going to work and it's going to ruin your brush. I don't remember if I already covered the flower. No, I didn't, obviously. Usually I do 2 coats because sometimes I forget a part. So by doing 2 coats, I'm sure that everything is covered. You can also use some oil-based polyurethane to seal them. The only problem with the oil-based varnish is that they can yellow with time, but it's more sturdy. And the finish is nicer than acrylic, but it yellows. If it was a piece of furniture, I would tell you, yes, varnish it with oil-based varnish. Maybe there is some polyurethane, acrylic, I don't know. They do new products now when everything is water-based, and it's better for your health and for the environment. So I'm going to let it dry here, and I'm going to varnish that also. I'm not going to believe it, but I found a way to do some crackles on my rose. So you know why that is very easy? It's because this varnish obviously takes more time to dry than this one. So when you put something which dries faster on something which takes more time to dry, you end up with some crackles. So I don't know if once completely dry the crackle will still be there, but it seems so. It's funny because when I want to have crackles I don't manage to do it. No, I say that, but I have products to do crackles, but sometimes it doesn't work as we want. And when I don't want to have some crackles, I do. I manage to do them. So I will let that dry, and I know how I'm going to fix that. I'm going actually to embrace the crackles, and I'm going to play with it. That was not planned. So you can see that we have some accidents sometimes. Not sometimes, always. Always. But it doesn't mean that the thing is ruined. No. All that because I used some black ink which was not meant to be used on this thing. It's a kind of day when I do everything wrong. Not everything wrong, actually. It's not bad what I'm doing. So yes, that I must wait. Yes, I'm going to let the glitter dry. I don't want to ruin that. Okay, so what we are going to do now, this one has 1 coat of varnish made, and I will do a second coat. And I must do the underneath, and I did the top. I must sign and add the tag. So I'm going to do the tag now. So these are the papers that I used to do the quotes in my last video. So I cut little pieces for my tag. I have to hold them like that because I have 2 fans and everything is flying everywhere. Oh, I have to stop my fan, otherwise I won't manage to do it. Whew, I'm going to be hot. Okay, so let's do it like this. Something like that. And then I'm laughing because no matter what I do, I like nothing. It's this one which bothers me a little. Oh, unless I put it like that and like that. Yes, I think that I like that better. Okay. Bad day for crafting. So of course I'm going to cut what is here. Maybe I can just do it like that, yes. This one maybe I will cut it with the scissors because I'm afraid to do something bad again. So I didn't tell you where I got these tags. So you can do them, you know, you buy tags like that and you put them in some dark coffee and they will become like that. Those ones I didn't do them myself. I did some myself, but not these ones. These one I bought them on eBay a very long time ago also. So I cannot give you the name of the seller because I don't remember. It was like 10 years ago. But you don't need to go on eBay. It's easy to find these tags and to dye them with some coffee. It's really easy. And I like also that the string is dyed also. If you don't want to buy these things, you can use some thick paper and do your tag yourself. For example, I have remnants like that. I put some paint on this thick paper. I do my notes, my thank you notes on papers like that. You can do that, for example, and create a tag by doing a hole, by cutting the top here, adding a string. That's not complicated. You can do it yourself. You don't need to buy them. But if you have some, dye them with some coffee. You can dye them with some tea, but the tea is less strong than the coffee. With the coffee it's more visible. Then what did I do on my tag last time? You realize that it doesn't make 1 year, but soon we will be at Christmas and they will be 1 year old, these tags. So yes, what I did, I have these Christmas stamps that I bought at 99 cents a very long time ago. I don't have the, you know, you are supposed to stick that on a stronger piece. I don't have it, so I do it like that. I have this ink pad. I also have ink pads like these. I'm going to use that because it's water resistant. It's black, it's more visible on the brown. This is going to be less visible, but you do whatever you want and you use whatever stamp you want. It's just an example that I'm giving you. Like that. You see? And then I did the Merry Christmas here. There is some glue. It's not totally dry. We will see. Okay, never mind. If that happened, you know, I didn't press it strong enough. You see, it's the day where everything goes wrong. I didn't press it strong enough because here there is some glue and I was afraid that it was going to damage the stamp. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. So what I did, I simply went over the ink and wrote Merry Christmas with this pen. It's not waterproof, but it doesn't matter, it's on the tag. You are not going to wash your tag. And anyway, the paper is porous, the ink sinks in the paper. And then I added from Yael to someone, to you, my viewers. And then maybe I will just this is really good. It's 6 Signo Uni-Ball white. I use them a lot. I'm careful because the paper is still humid. I will wait for it to be completely dry. I don't want to damage the paper. Anyway, here it is. So this pen is Rotring. It's art pen by Rotring. I love this thing. I write everything with that. It's becoming more and more difficult to find some ink cartridge. I had to buy my cartridge on eBay from Poland. Is that crazy? Because we can't find them anymore here. And I couldn't find them in France either. Online, I mean. Anyway, I must let it dry. So this is going to be the tag, which will be attached here. So it's a little big for the other pots. Oh no, Shasha. My cat wants to go on the table. No! Attends, Chanou. Once again. No, 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 no. So you see, you can attach it like this, better than I did. Allez, Chacha, allez, passe. Allez, attention. Woo! There is a cat passing. Or maybe we could open the window. We will have some air because it's the end of the day. Second coat. I must not forget to do the underneath also. And I'm seeing here it's not perfect. Maybe I will glue a thin band of paper here to make it better. It's not mandatory, but I'm a little maniac sometimes, so I must do a second go. So you see, it's a satin, but it's not very shiny. It's between matte and satin, I would say. My cat was hungry. He wanted to eat. So I fed him. And now he's going to want to go down. I must varnish this one. But this one is drying and it's better. It's better, and I can see a few creases, but they seem to disappear, so maybe we avoided the crackles. And this one, it's almost dry. Okay, I wanted to put some gold around. I'm going to try that. So I have these rub and buff. I used to have some from France, but they completely dried, and these ones are nice. You know, I never have the time to do my craft, so I end up watching videos about makeup and doing my makeup even when I stay at home and I see nobody because it's my ersatz of arts and craft. That's not good, because makeup, we end up spending too much money on that. So I think that's good. It makes the thing more coherent, more finished. That's nice. That's a good idea, actually. I like it, and I must let it dry, but maybe I will put some here also to make it more finished. And here, is it dry? It is dry. Let's see. Oh, that's nice. We must just be careful not to put too much. That's why I put it on the paper and then I put it on the jar, on the lid, to be sure not to put too much. It's like in makeup. You don't want to have a lot on your face. I like it. Okay. But I still want this flower a little shinier. I will see if I will have to find specific varnish just for it. And I need to varnish that, of course. Okay, now I'm going to show you what is it which makes me laugh. I was in my shop, my previous shop a while ago, and I was obviously bored. There was nobody coming, and I had this water bottle. I think it was water or maybe juice, I don't remember. And I thought, oh, I will try to make a collage on it, but it's plastic, you know. I remember that some people came in the store, and my son also, and they were looking at me doing that. You would have seen their face. They were probably thinking that I was totally crazy, but you know, I feel always guilty when I use some plastic bottles because it's so bad for the environment. And I thought if we can recycle them, so that is a fake flower, which is not the most beautiful, but I put it here. And once it was done, I thought, you know what, I really like it, and I even glued some little retro images on it. And I did this tag where it's written recycling, recycling, and I signed at the back. And people were asking me questions about that, and I kept it in my shop as decoration. I was not selling it, of course, but I thought I should do more because I love this idea. It makes the bottle more sturdy, and I thought, okay, so I told you everything goes wrong today. I was filming and suddenly no more battery, so I'm on my iPhone right now and my iPhone is plugged. So obviously, hopefully we will manage to finish this video. You still have the view on my wonderful laundry room and all my installation that I made to hold my camera, whatever. I was saying so that I loved this bottle so much that I decided to do more. I'm sorry, the camera is really close to what I'm trying to show. So I made this one, which is with brown papers, and I made this one which has some sparkle in it. I don't know, I think it's cute. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So for example, I have a bottle like that. You remove the tag, of course. I'm not going to keep that. And you will see that you still have some paper and glue. So don't remove them, because any solvent to remove them is going to damage the plastic, especially as these specific bottles from Sprouts, the bottle of water, they are really flimsy. They are very thin, so it's better not to touch that. We don't see it under the paper. It's not like the glass. The glass is more transparent, it's more obvious. You are also going to remove that. Be careful when you remove that. I removed that with a cutter. Be very careful because you can cut yourself. Oh, it's very complicated to film like that, but I don't have other choice. I'm going to glue on that and I'm going to show you. So this time I want to do it yellow. So I have this paper, I have this paper, and I would like to put a little some orange at the bottom. So I will start at the top with the lighter one, and I will go darker like an ombre to the bottom. I tear them in small pieces. I'm really sorry that you... It's terrible. I'm watching what I'm doing on my screen, on my phone, and that's not good. It's the first time that the battery of my old camera dies like that. And it was completely charged when I started the video. Same glue. If the glue is too thick, you can add a little water. So I'm starting at the top, okay? It must not be too runny also. I try to stay in the screen. I think you understand the principle. I'm going to do it all because you know it's difficult for me to work like that because I have to watch myself, to watch what I'm doing on the screen to be sure to be in the screen, but I don't manage to work like that. Okay, I'm going to continue and I will show you the result when I'm done. Okay, so I covered the whole bottle. It took me about 20-25 minutes to do that. I put some light yellow. Oh, I see that it's creasing here. I put some light yellow basically almost until the bottom. Then I added the darker yellow and then I added the orange. I didn't do the underneath yet and I didn't do that part that I'm going to cover also. Actually, I put some paper until the top. When you go with your brush, you didn't see me, I'm sorry, I have some glue on my hands. When I put the paper and the glue, with your brush you must really go in the ridges so the paper goes everywhere and doesn't create bubbles. So you must really glue carefully in the ridges, in the hollows. And yes, usually you can see on my other bottle I went until the top because it's nicer like that. This paper was really fragile. Here is the next one and I would like to do several ones. So I'm sorry that the filming process for this part is really bad because my camera is too close to my hands. So I hope that you can see the bottle here. I will include at the end photos of everything finished. So you will be able to see in detail everything what I did. Actually, it's the evening and it starts being really dark. I don't see anymore what I'm doing. My next video will probably be about everywhere I went with my family in Los Angeles. It was fantastic. It was like vacation for me. It was very exhausting because I'm not used to run everywhere like that. It was really good for me. It was like when I was a tourist in Los Angeles. It was strange. Anyway, so I see you very soon. Sorry for the bad quality of filming. I really must find solutions to film. Okay, I see you very soon. Thank you for watching until the end if you did. Bye bye.